Welcome to the On Your Left podcast, brought to you by Trails of Mississippi, your ultimate guide to the thrilling world of trail running, hiking, and mountain biking. Join your host, Matt Clem, as we explore breathtaking trails, conquer challenging peaks, and dive into the adventures that await in the great outdoors. Get ready to lace up, gear up, and get inspired. Adventure is just around the corner. On your left.
All right, here we go. This is episode number 28 on your left. It's been a couple of weeks. A little bit's gone on since then. This is the Cocodona recap episode. I'll be honest with everybody. I was hesitant about doing like a big wrap-up show just because in today's world with all the just everybody posting all the time, all the narcissism and everything, I didn't really feel like I was really worthy of it, but I had a lot of people want to hear about it. And then mainly the crew that I had, which before I introduce everybody, this is going to be a hard episode. I'll be honest with you. It's going to be, I brought beer for everybody, and I probably should have brought Kleenex because I have a feeling that this could get kind of emotional. My hormones are starting to shift back into shape after the lack of sleep. Thank you, Daniel, for showing me a roll of paper towels. I appreciate it. Cocodona happened on May the 4th. It started at 5 a.m. Mountain time out in Black Canyon City, which is just right next to Phoenix, Arizona. It was a 250-mile foot race that eventually would end in Flagstaff, Arizona, taking you through the low desert, through the Bradshaw Mountains, through the Sedona area, up through the Coconino Plateau, and then eventually ending up in Flagstaff. This is just, it was such an epic event. And honestly, it came about just about a year ago when doing this podcast. I had Jackson Wolf on, and he was getting ready to do it. And I thought to myself, man, that is just the most awesome thing I can think of somebody doing. And so for some reason, I just said, F it. And I just decided I'm going to go ahead and do it. So Brooke and I sat down and talked, and I was like, if this is something that I would put forth the next year, would you be interested? And she said, if this is something you want to do, let's do it. So then at that point, I reached out to my running coach, Liza Howard, and I said, Liza, if I'm going to do something like this, what needs to happen? And she said, well, for one, we got to start base building. Two, you've got to surround yourself with some people because it's going to take a village. So I think the second person I called was Bridget Weinman, who is also here tonight. I'll go ahead and introduce everybody on the love seat to the left. I've got Brooke, my wife, the luckiest woman in the world. And that's right. And then Bridget Weinman to the right. Bridget also gets coached, Daniel, by the same person that coaches me, Liza Howard. And so there was some continuity there. Bridget's done a bunch of ultramarathons, and she's also planned to do some 200-mile distance races. So she's prepared for that. She's familiar with it. Multi-day events is a lot different than a 24-hour or 30-hour event. A lot goes into it. So I wanted to have somebody that would be willing. Then I wanted to get a couple of people that could come out. And this is such a big ask because it's not like we're asking them just to go over to like Alabama or Louisiana for the weekend. This is a cross the country type trip, and it's expensive. So after that, I reached out to Josh Warren, who's a really good friend of mine, to see if he would come crew and pace. And I also reached out to Helen Summerford and Tiffany Green. And they were all really involved. They were like, yeah, we'll do it. Let's do it. But as we all know, life happens. So Josh had a work thing come up. He had like a very, very important conference smack dab in the middle of Cocodona. So he had to cancel. Helen had to have knee surgery. So she had to cancel. So at that point, we're like, well, dang, what do I do there? Well, right after that, Catherine Snyder, who's sitting across from me, Catherine gave me a call and was like, I'm interested if you need help. And I was like, man, I couldn't have thanked her more. And so Catherine, who also has run multiple 100-mile races, very experienced. And then also she is a doctor. Let's preface it by that. And I need somebody who knows something.
She was willing to touch his feet. So
well,
she's in.
That was a big thing. Needed somebody who knew something about medical. And then also Lizzie, who is an ER nurse, who is good friends with Catherine, and who is from here, who currently lives in Colorado, who might be chiming in sometime soon. I think she's driving to work in Colorado. She reached out to me and showed interest in crewing and pacing. So there you go. That's how kind of the team came together. And the team came together, probably 2 months ago, I guess, maybe something like that. So all women, which was comforting. I think
amazing.
It was. Well, I have to hang out with y'all very long, so I guess maybe I was able to avoid the moodiness or whatever.
You didn't have there was no moodiness.
There was nothing.
We all, only you, and you were, trust me.
Yeah,
we all got along really well.
So, yeah, that's how it kind of all started. So, the plan was that Brooke, Bridget, and we flew out the Saturday right before the race. So a couple days. We flew into Phoenix. We stayed Saturday night. And then Sunday, we went to the expo packet pickup, which was down at the start-finish line of Black Canyon City. Phoenix is an interesting area. Dan, you ever been to Phoenix? I know you don't have a microphone, but bro, it's like sun, basically.
We've flown into the airport one time.
Okay.
I mean, the cactuses were cool the first day. The first 100 we saw.
But
after that,
we did see some very scenic
cactuses.
So I guess to do this episode, we have to have some sort of chronological order of what happened.
Mm-hmm.
I think most people listening or watching this episode know what happened. Spoiler alert. The race was 250 miles. I made it 180 miles.
Which is amazing.
Thank you. It started on Monday. We'll go through aid station, day to day. But Thursday night, probably around 11 o'clock, I'm on a road out in the middle of effing nowhere. And I could not really go more than maybe 10 yards without having to stop because my knee was hurting and the bottom of my feet were so emascerated and just blown to hell and back that I just couldn't see myself going another 70 miles or so. So it was getting cold. I was in pain.
You were alone. Nobody to talk you out of it.
No,
you lost cell service.
Well, also too, I did at that.
We had a plan.
I didn't have a pacer at that time, so I think things kind of a race like this is so many consequential things that can happen and things can just pile up and you don't see them piling up until that light switch just goes click. And that's what happened. And, but mile 180 is when I pulled the plug. So I guess what we need to do is kind of go through Bridget. Okay. So what we did working with our coach, we had a plan of aid station. We also used an app called Ultra Pacer, which is a fairly new app, which is really cool. You can plug in the actual race onto Ultra Pacer. You give it what your target time is, and it's going to budget exactly what pace you should run from aid station. Also, it has a description in there from aid station to aid station of exactly what the distance is and what the vertical gain and what the vertical loss is going to be, which is crucial because basically that's just going to tell you how shitty of a route it's going to be. I mean, there are some sections where it'll
give you an idea, but not exactly how shitty it was.
So this is another thing too. I think people need to realize. It's in Catherine and Bridget will somebody just chimed in. I think that's Lizzie, isn't it? Okay, well you could chime her in. There, Liz, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Awesome. Welcome in. Can't see you, but that's fine. I know you're hiding from the camera, but
I'm driving to work. Sorry.
Okay. Well, Lizzie showed up. Lizzie and Catherine showed up on Monday afternoon, right? Was that when you guys showed up?
We landed Monday afternoon and drove into Prescott. and got there that night.
Okay, so you guys were really okay. I did not see you guys until Tuesday. So Lizzie, we're just going to kind of go through. We're going through Ultra Pacer. So the race started 5 o'clock. So what was the first little section?
So the first was start to Cottonwood Creek.
Cottonwood Creek. That was a
7.5
mile stretch. What was the vertical gain on that?
1645.
Okay, so 7 miles, 1,600 feet. Okay,
That's
so that's about 250 feet a mile. That
Okay. Because I still have no concept.
Okay, so 250 feet. Okay, so the first 7 miles, it took me about an hour and a half to do. We were moving good. The footing, a lot of it was on Jeep Road. Look, the adrenaline's going. It wasn't very technical. We were kind of moving through there. To start the race, you had to have 4 liters capacity potential of fluid. You didn't have to take 4 liters of fluid, but you had to have the ability to take 4. So what I did, I just had 2 flasks in the front, and we boogied through the first 7.5 miles. I made it to the aid station, which is a water stop, which we'll show pictures in a little bit. When I got to that first water stop, at that point, you had to fill up to 4 liters. I think I filled up to about 5, but I couldn't get my bladder to.
And we could see you on the live stream.
Okay, so I was on the live
And
stream.
we knew it was you because we could see your pink socks.
Okay, so I was right in front of the camera on the live stream, trying to fill up. So that was at mile 7.5. So then we leave from there, and what's the next?
Then you have a water station at
Okay.
10.5.
That right there. And what was the climb from 7.5 to 10.5?
Let's see.
Or does it say that, or does it go all the way to?
Well, you've got 3 miles and 688 feet.
So 3 miles, 688 feet, which is kind of staying on the same trajectory as the first 7 miles. So I remember getting to that water station, and at that water station, I think we were allowed 1 liter. That was it. I think at that one you're allowed 1 liter. And that was just to kind of top off because it was starting to get hot. So then at that point, what was the next section?
So there's another water station that was 14.2 miles away.
So another 14 miles.
Yeah, and that was 5,400 feet.
So 5,400 feet on top of what we had already done. So the first roughly 20-something miles, we were already at like several thousand feet.
And so how heavy was your pack with 4 liters?
So I think we weighed it, and I think it was like 13 pounds, something like that. It was about 13 pounds.
It was heavy.
Which I'll be honest, the pack didn't really bother me. Everything felt comfortable. What was getting uncomfortable was what we were running on was literally like boulders, like anywhere from the size of like a softball to a suitcase, and nothing was stable. There was no clear ground to run on, very little. So you're constantly you're on something. So your feet are just getting smashed at the bottom, or you're getting friction on your feet. So
And Matt, I know I don't have the mic, but you're getting a couple comments. Zach McRaney said, "Hell of a run, Matt," and Josh Warren said, "My excuse was better than hell."
Word? No.
Yeah.
He's dead to us.
Yeah. All right. So the next, so we made it to mile, whatever that is, to that aid station.
It's 24.5.
So we're at 24.5. And then the next one is what?
That's Lane Mountain.
Lane Mountain. So Lane Mountain was like mile 30 something.
32.5.
So I will say this, getting to Lane Mountain was kind of like, that was an emotional thing at that point. And I'll be honest, when we were in the middle, I think we were at like mile 15. Mile 15, we were going up such a steep hill at that point. I think that was kind of when the start of a lot of the big heavy climbs were. And I remember like thinking, if I didn't have a crew out here and I was just running the solo, I would quit.
Oh, wow.
That's how bad it was.
At mile 30 something?
No, 15.
Oh.
No, mile 15.
More dire than I thought.
I was having like life choice like questions, like what the hell am I doing? Like I'm like questioning, like, do I need to be out here kind of thing? Because it's not like anything we've run on around here, because it's just so rocky. It's not even runnable. I mean, it's not. I mean, it's not runnable. You're climbing on just such a weird. But when we finally got to Lane Mountain, that was kind of like, okay, I made it through the first tough section because the word is that if you could just make it through the first 50K and then just make it through the next 50K and just
for those of us that don't know what's a 50K.
32 miles.
Okay.
If I could just make it through the first 60 something miles and make it to Whiskey Row, then the race gets easier. So from Lane Mountain, I think we had to go, what was that? What was the next aid station there?
Well, the next was Crown King, where you saw us first.
And how much vert was that?
It was only 400.
400
but
feet.
over 4 miles.
Over 4 miles.
Mm-hmm. From Lane
and
to
I remember
Crown
that kind of being down. There was like some runnable sections.
There was 1,300 down.
1,300 down. So we got to Crown King. When I got to Crown King, it was just Brooke and Bridget, because I think in order to get to Crown King, you guys had to go to Bumblebee Ranch because they didn't want everybody flooding Crown King.
Well, to get there was.
You had to go, you had to go to Bumblebee Ranch until I was within.
We had to go to Bumblebee Ranch, and then when you got, was it 9 miles away?
I think so.
They let us out. They released us to go. Well, it was only, we were like, what was it, 23 miles to get there? No problem. But it took us an hour and 45 minutes to drive that 23 miles.
Because of the dirt road.
Because it was a dirt road going straight up a mountain.
Was it?
It was, it shouldn't have had campers and Sprinter vans on it, but it did, and it was not good.
Yeah, a lot of single lane type.
We had to hit the bar when we got to the top.
So when I got there, it's a pretty cool little area, Crown King. It's like a little Western type, saloon. So I show up and I'm like, don't see anybody. I'm like, what's going on? The only thing I heard is that Tailwind had slushies.
Oh.
And I was like, God damn it.
It was kind of cold though, wasn't it?
I didn't care. It was so hotly. It was starting to get cold because at that point we're up
the sun was going down too.
Okay, we were getting up towards the top. But it was hot all day. So I was like, man, I want one of those slushies so bad. So I walk right up and I take my shoes off and everything. And I asked the guy, I'm like, do you have any slushies? And they're like, well, the slushie machine's really not working. But it's cold. And I'm like, rough. I don't care. Just give it to me.
Way to kill your dream.
So I think I got that. And then you guys weren't there. So I called Brooke.
And I got a phone call.
What did I tell you?
So you don't love me anymore?
I was like, what? You guys still love me anymore?
So you don't love me anymore? I'm like, we're sitting here waiting on you. You must have gone right by us.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm up on the deck. And you were like, so Bridget brings all the stuff over to me.
Your tracker was behind by like 45 minutes.
Okay.
And we were moving the car to where you wouldn't have to walk off course to get to us with all your supplies.
Okay.
And we must have just missed in that little few minutes.
Shuffle.
But we were able to get the car to a place you could just hop over to it, and we were able to take care of you.
Okay. So we got to the car. At that point, we went to kind of night ops gear. So I switched over. I pulled out a fleece. I put pants on. We switched socks.
We washed your feet.
Washed the feet. Switched socks. Dried my feet off. Put more salty britches on. Everything looked good. No flare ups.
Your shoes.
Okay. So
he wanted a
picture.
Right.
Shoes.
There is a picture of my shoes, which we'll look at in a little bit.
Matt's like, I'll just put on the same shoes.
So, my shoes felt great. I was like, these shoes feel
Let
great.
me put them back on.
But then Brooke's like, you need to see the bottom of your shoes. Daniel, the whole bottom of the shoe ripped. I don't know if we can look. There's got to be a pair in there. Maybe somewhere.
Did you not send him all the pictures?
I did, but I sent them in chronological order, which I don't know.
You didn't add it to the album till last.
But anyway, it's the shoes got just totally destroyed. The bottom.
There were no treads on the bottom. They
were
gone.
tread. They were gone. Hoka Challengers. Just totally shredded. So we switched shoes. I eat half a pulled pork sandwich, I think. Barely. And then took off for night ops. And I remember there was a girl, Sissy from somewhere. Hell, you get to meet these people. Well, anyway, I ended up taking off with her and a British lady. We ended up just taking. That's right. Yeah, some lady from Britain.
It was meant to be.
We took off, and at that point, and then we start climbing again. So what's the next section?
So the next one is 14 and a half miles to Arrastra Creek.
And that was pretty shitty, if I remember.
Was it?
It was bad. The rockiness was. What's the vert on that?
That's 2,400 up, but also 29 down.
Okay, I remember there being a lot of up and then straight down, up, straight down, and like I said, it's not groomed trail, so it's all very rocky. So I get to Aroostook Creek. I don't remember what happened there. I was still just pacerless. There was a lot of people around. And then
it was the middle of the night.
Aroostook Creek is then to what's the next one?
Camp Kippa.
Camp Kippa, which is a climb. How high was, what's that climb?
So that was 9.8 miles, 3,200 feet.
That's when it starts getting real a little bit, because then you're going, you're going over 1,000 feet every 3 miles. Wow. So, and that essentially is like, yeah, that's what we had been training for, was doing that. So 9,000. So once we got to Camp Kippa, kind of made it through. It was getting pretty late. I think the sun was starting to kind of peek through. I do remember on day one, the sun over the mountains was I could see daylight at about 2:30 in the morning.
Yeah, you were telling me that.
That's how wild it was. So, and I think that's how high we were. So then the next section was from.
So that's to Camp Wamatachik.
Yeah.
6.5 miles.
And
that's pretty easy. I mean, it's 700 feet up, but 17 down.
But
is it easy, or was that runnable?
I don't remember it being like. People all along were asking me, what's your favorite section? I couldn't come up with one, because I just didn't remember anything being like great.
I never heard. Go ahead. But say you told me the first 7 miles was your favorite because there was so much energy.
There was.
Yeah.
There was.
I never heard anything positive. All I heard, that sucked. Man, that was awful.
Some of it was just brutal. But all right, so we get to that one, and then we start the descent down to
Whiskey Row.
So Whiskey Row. I got to Whiskey Row. The plan was to get there before noon, and I don't remember when I got there.
Around 11, I think.
Oh, yeah, 11.
I think I got there about 11. So at this point,
I don't know if this is updated.
It's probably not. So mile 70. What mile was that?
75.
75. Yeah. So when I got to Whiskey Row, we rolled in. We're parked right there on the square. That's the first time I get to see Lizzie and Catherine. And so I wheel in. I knew that I wanted to lay down. My feet were kind of getting a little hot. So at that point, I took my shoes off. Catherine and Lizzie started looking at the feet. And then I laid down. I don't know if I tried to close my eyes.
You did.
Did I get any kind of sleep at all?
Mm-hmm.
What would you say my sleep was right there? 5-10 minutes, maybe?
Max. Yeah.
Yeah.
So did I have blisters at that point? Do you remember?
You did. We put some moleskin on there, which I think is something you need to keep in mind for future races, because that seemed to help a lot.
Okay.
But they look bad, but not too bad. All things considered, they didn't look terrible.
So mile 75, I had some pizza that Lizzie went and got me. Thank you, Lizzie.
And coffee.
And we went up into Whiskey Row. You guys had a shot.
That wasn't until you left.
Till we left. Okay. So at that point, Daniel, I'm able to take a pacer. So then the next couple of sections, I took Catherine.
But hold on. When you were leaving out, everybody was cheering for you. We have a video somewhere, but everybody's saying your name. Go, Matt. Good job, Matt. Let's go. You don't even remember that, do you? The way you're looking at me.
No.
They were all.
I do remember it was starting to rain a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only time we had any kind of rain at all.
It was cold. Yeah.
It was a little cold. Mm-hmm. So
we were able to walk with you down the road a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And then we got you on your way. And it's Whiskey Row. There's saloons. We decided we needed to take a shot of whiskey.
So Whiskey Row, Daniel's in Prescott, Arizona, which is a pretty cool little.
It was a cute little.
It's almost like a little fondren, kind of, sort of.
We were able to walk to a little breakfast spot while we were waiting on you. There was like a courthouse square, I guess you would say.
Yeah. That's kind of where we parked. So at that point, Catherine and I were gone. We're taking off. Catherine's got 2 sections that she's going to be with me. So at this point, we take off from there to
Watson Lake,
which we're on the road for a few miles.
We're moving well.
We're moving we're running sub 20 minute miles. We're kind of moving. The goal, so for a race like this, they give you 30-minute miles. That's total 30-minute miles. But on a lot of these sections, you want to make hay. I think the Ultra Pacer was scheduled a lot of times for around a 25-minute pace, but we were averaging under 20. So we were making time as we went.
Great time.
At this point, we were.
So we left there through Watson Lake. We got to Watson Lake, and we got to the gazebo, which was I don't know how many miles that was. How many miles?
It's like 8.7 from there. So yeah,
mile 84 or something.
So we ran about 8.4. That was that wasn't technical or anything. I don't remember.
A lot of streets.
It's flat, a lot of streets. So then at that point,
that's the one where you popped out in the neighborhood. You're telling me about the fancy neighborhood.
Maybe
you were in the woods and you popped out in the neighborhood before you had to cross the main highway.
Oh yeah.
Maybe
yeah.
I wasn't asleep. I was still pretty coherent at this time.
Yes.
But when we got to the gazebo, we met up.
It was
got something else to eat. Who was
just
it?
Just me.
Just Brooke, yeah.
Just you and Catherine. Bridget and Lizzie were resting because Lizzie was going to be the next one.
And you still, at this point, I don't know if we touched on it. You really weren't eating much. You weren't taking in a whole lot.
You were drinking Tailwind, and that was about it.
Okay. We left.
You ate watermelon. I'm like, it has zero nutritional value, but whatever.
So we left there, and then we did the section which is called the Granite Dells.
Which, yeah, there's some good pictures from that too. And Watson Lake was actually really pretty, but then we got on the Granite Dells, and those were like white spots on rocks. And I am so glad that I figured out how to put the course on my watch, because at one point I looked back and I was leading like 12 runners through that. And it was like if you didn't know where you were going in the sense of your watch and looking at those white spots, you would have, I can't believe more people didn't get
I'll be honest, I still don't think we went the right way. No, I'm serious. It's one of those things. It's like, where in the hell are we?
You'd see like an orange flag, like, okay, that way.
Made no sense.
And when I picked Catherine up later, she was like, all these people had all this faith in me, and it was just added pressure that it wasn't just Matt relying on me. There was like 12 people who didn't even know me.
Oh, I still just, there was no rhyme or reason where in the hell we were going. We were dipping in and out. I'm just like, whatever, I'm following you, man.
I know. And everybody wasn't. Katie was someone from Iowa who we walked with for a long time. And she was like, oh, I just thought you were from here. You knew where you're going. I was like, I was terrified. I was going to get everybody lost, but all the runners were able to just turn their brain off.
So essentially we're climbing up big boulders.
Big boulders.
And it's like, and you're climbing straight down them. And it was, would I say it was sketchy? No, but it sure wasn't safe.
No, and I can't believe, I'm so glad it wasn't wet, because that would have been awful.
Or it was light. We hit it during the daytime. We would have been at nighttime. We would have been effed. So we had to do this whole little section for what, 2 miles, you would say?
At least, yeah.
So then we finally get out of that, and then we hit what they call the Iron King.
That was cool.
Which is like a ranch. And we're leaving, and she's huge, and they call it iron because I guess we determined that the rock was red and all that because of all the iron.
Yeah, or it was an old railroad area too.
Granite and these huge overhangs.
So that one with the fingers, it looks like the rocks with the fingers. That's from that Iron King area.
That's right. The one, that's right. So then at that point, we take off and we're headed. What's the next?
So So when we were leaving Watson Lake, it was supposed to be like 11.6 miles. And I see this sign and it says Fane Ranch 13.8.
Which is the next aid station.
But there was another race starting there. They had multiple like different distances that started different days. And I was like, I wonder if it was for that. And then we got on that like the granite crazy section. And then when we got to that flat stuff, I texted them and I was like, so is it 11.6 or 13.8? Because I don't know if you remember this, but every mile you'd say, how far have we gone? What was our elevation? What was our pace? And so I knew that if I wasn't on top of that, you'd been like, we have gone too far. Well, you're lost. Where are we? So I want to make sure that I knew that we were actually going to be going 13.8 miles from there. Yeah. And that's exactly
And what did you say he kept saying to you when you would tell him something? You already said that. You said that 2 miles ago that we only had 3 miles. I mean, a half a mile.
You were gaslighting me so much. You're like, you said really? 2 miles ago. It was 2 miles. I was like, that was a quarter mile ago.
I was getting desperate.
You were. It was tough.
I was getting desperate. Like I was really budgeting. Like, what my pace was and like how much further
We were trying to go.
And then also too, I was curious, like how much vert have we gone? Because I knew what the prescribed vert was for that section. So I was like, okay, well, do we have much more uphill left or not?
And that was pretty flat once we got there, and it was beautiful. Like it was so pretty that we went on that like great stretch where you could just see so much, like mountains everywhere, fields, and then you're like, we're getting to the cow pastures. I was like, oh, cool, cow pastures. It was cow pastures for like 10 miles.
Oh,
so
gosh.
So we left Iron King, and then what's does it say? What
Defane Ranch.
Defane Ranch.
Okay, so Defane Ranch.
You loved that part. Didn't you?
Can I just say that's the biggest crock of shit? That whole
you have a
section.
picture of that.
So that whole section was just
it's
stupid.
him on the ladder.
Yeah.
Okay,
There
so Daniel, we're crossing all these cow pastures. Now it seemed like we were zigzagging, and they were just making up mileage. So they had us going back and forth, and we were having to cross these cow pastures. Well, we had to essentially cross the fences. So I knew there were a couple of ladder crosses where you have to climb up over the ladder and then step down.
Because you're climbing over the barbed wire fence.
But not 12 of them.
So the first one, you're like, yeah, these
12.
are the ladders. And I was like, oh, yay, fun. There's a ladder. And then like someone in front of us. So what I thought was really cool, and this just kind of highlights how the community there is just so great. But if there was a runner in front of you, they would hold the ladder. Because it's rickety ladders. They're not like, I mean, they're cheap ladders to go over this barbed wire. And so the runner in front of you would hold it. And so like the pacer would jump over, walk over and then like hold it for the next person. And it was just kind of this etiquette that you did. And so that very first one, the person that was holding it, I was like, okay, we went over the ladder. And she goes, oh, we got like 12 more? And I was like, what?
Yeah. We were there.
She was not lying. It was at least 12 more.
So and at this point, I'm going into day 2 with 5 minutes of sleep. And I'm not hallucinating because I'm not seeing things that aren't there, but maybe I am. I don't know. The distances are getting really skewed. Like I would see a rock off and I'm like, oh, there's a building there. I'm like, gotta get closer. I'm like, nope, that's not it. And my eyesight doesn't help either, but it just kind of got to where it seemed like that stretch just took forever to get to Fane Ranch.
It did. And we were going for a long time and we went through several neighborhoods. You would say like random comments to me, like, I think you said something like, there are a bunch of LDS people here. And I was like,
there are.
Okay. And then that was it.
Well,
I was like, where did that come from?
Well, there was an old couple. Out there just
no
walking.
Reference to why they were LDS, but yeah.
Well, I don't know. Why did I think they were LDS members?
You told me later he was asking people for water.
Oh, this is way later.
What did you say that?
Me.
I know that was with you, but you said he was asking somebody for something when I picked you up and we were going to Chick-fil-A.
Was I asking?
I don't remember.
I don't remember. I didn't start begging until Sedona.
I know that's another story.
But
there was something he was asking.
So finally we get to Fane Ranch right as the sun is coming down, right?
And and it was a lot of people were asking like, how much further? We all thought we were lost. And then we went through several of those culverts too, which are kind of cool and creepy.
Yes.
Is that the tunnel thing?
Yeah, we had to go through several culverts.
Above the ladder one, that's one of the tunnels that we went through. And I was starting to be like, oh, I hope that we are, going the right way.
Because everybody's following you.
Yeah, everybody's following me. And like, we could see some people ahead of us and you kept looking like we were going to get there any minute. And then we finally came around. I don't know if you remember this, but I kept saying there's some prickly parts. Because there are all these cactus stuck out. And I was like, the last thing I need is for Matt to run into a cactus and we have to pull these out in the middle of the night when none of us can really see what's going on. And I think you were like, what are you saying?
I did. You were saying there's a prickly. There's a prickly. For the record, I did not hit a single cactus.
You did not.
I did not.
I think I pointed out every single one to you, but
I didn't.
Good job.
I didn't hit a single cactus. Okay, so finally we get to
Fane Ranch.
So we get to Fane Ranch, which is mile. What mile was that?
94.
94. So at that point, Catherine steps aside and Lizzie hops in.
Well, you had a moment at the aid station. You and I sat in the truck for a little bit in the heat. You actually ate a little bit at that. Do you not remember that at all? We were at the church in the church parking lot.
That was an LDS church. Thank you very much. It was. I knew it. See,
it was a random reference when you
made
it,
know that.
But now it clicks.
It is an LDS church.
Why does it matter?
I don't know. It doesn't. I guess the Mormons got kicked out of Utah and they moved to Arizona. Shit, I don't know.
Did you see Warren Jeffs?
We tried to tell you about that.
Did not. But
You
anyway,
didn't believe us.
so we were there.
And you and I sat in the truck for a little bit, and you heated up. You ate a little bit of something, not a whole lot.
Those chicken fingers.
Oh yeah,
and some broth.
Because we waited to get you gluten-free chicken fingers.
That's right.
Oh, and I can't remember if that's what started the pocket potatoes. I kept trying to offer you pocket potatoes.
Oh yeah, I had a bag full of just slimy potatoes.
At that point, mashed potatoes.
That's right.
I've been in my pocket. They're nice and
Talking
warm.
of that, I mean, back a little bit when he left Whiskey Row, mile 75. Somebody put pizza in a Ziploc bag.
I forgot about that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
we thought about that on the way to the
after he was
airport.
out. I found it in his bag.
3 days later, it's still there.
Yeah, still there, not eaten.
So Lizzie and I take off Fain Ranch, and then the next destination is what?
That's Mingus. 12.3 miles.
Was it really?
Overnight. Yeah.
So I will say this, and what's the climb on that?
3,000.
Okay.
Yeah.
Shit tea. Excuse me for the language, whoever's listening, but there's no other. That climb to Mingus is the biggest pile of hot garbage. It's not, it's a beautiful mountain, but the trail is just awful. Like, so Lizzie's dropped off. She's at work.
She had to go to work.
She's there?
Okay, Lizzie's there. Lizzie, you can hop in. Lizzie beforehand, she was like, well, Matt, I was kind of thinking about doing this race and I wanted to come out and check it out. And then after we did that one little 12-mile section, she's like, oh, no, I'm not doing this race. No, I'm done. I'm not doing it.
I definitely did say that. I was like, after pacing, no, thank you.
So
pretty rough race, very technical.
So we leave Fain Ranch, and my plan is let's get to Mingus and I'll sleep. Okay, that was the plan.
Originally, you were supposed to sleep at Fain Ranch, but you decided to keep going.
I'm going to push it to Mingus, get me a good couple hours of sleep. So we get down. We're still in the cow pasture. We're climbing all these damn ladders, Lizzie and I. And I think we get to a dirt road, and I just look at Lizzie. I'm like, Lizzie, I got to be honest with you. I got to lay down. So that was my first dirt nap. She said, okay, how long do you want? And I said 10 minutes. Or did I say 7 or something? I think 10 minutes. So I lay down, and we're like trying to find rocks, but we're in the middle of a pasture. There's no rocks. So I'm having to lay down on a dirt road. Don't know what's going on.
Do you want to lay down on a rock?
Well,
I wanted to get up off the ground. I didn't know what I was laying on. So I lay down on some damn dirt road or something, and I lay there, and I think I make it like 7 minutes. And it helped. It did help. I woke up. Lizzie and I are like, okay, let's go. So we took off, and then we start the climb up to Mingus, which is just rocky, crappy. Just you can't get your foot in anywhere. You're just tripping. You're slipping.
And it's the middle of the night.
It's getting dark. I think I make it up probably in 2 miles shy. And there's another picture. There's where we're overlooking this. I think we're overlooking Fain. It's at night.
It's that one in the top right.
Okay, that one right there. That was dirt nap number 2 with Lizzie that night.
And I was on the phone with you. I was on the phone with you, and we're talking. And you're like, I'm just going to sit down on this rock for just a minute. And then he's out.
I think I lay there. I think that was another 10-minute dirt nap. And Lizzie was very patient. I mean, keep in mind, Lizzie's coming in totally fresh. She's ready to roll. And then 3 miles in, she's having to sit there and stare at this guy that she doesn't know that well take a dirt nap on the side of a mountain. So anyway, we lay there. We sit there for a little while, and then we just commence and we go. And we make it up to Mingus. Mingus Mountain is at the top. Really, really tough section. Mile 105?
This is 106.
106. Last year, this is where Courtney and Walter quit. Very, very tough section. A lot of people drop out right there. So we finally get up to Mingus. We walk in. They do have sleep cabins. So the plan was that
it's like a camp.
It is a camp.
Camp? Yeah. I didn't go anywhere except where you were sleeping.
Well, they had a food hall. I walk into the food hall, and damn it smelled good. They were cooking they had
lasagna.
They had lasagna and they had all kind of stuff. I was like, oh my God. That was the first time I was like, okay, I'm ready to eat.
Did you send the picture of the words on the wall?
So there were inspirational words on the wall.
No, it's not on that one. I guess it's not there.
it's right there.
That's
Right
it.
there. What does it say, Courtney? This is
Dear Courtney, this is not your finish line. Love, Courtney. Courtney DeWalter.
yeah.
Don't
Quit.
Don't sleep. Go faster.
So that was in there. So I had a plate of lasagna, and then a Coke.
I've heard more about this lasagna.
It was pretty good. It wasn't bad. So then at that point, I'm like, okay, I've got to go get some sleep. So I think it was probably about 3:00 in the morning. I think the plan was that I was going to sleep for 2 hours. We were going to get up, foot care, and then Catherine and I were going to take off first sun and go down the mountain. So I get situated, take my shoes off, everything, get in one of the beds, which in the rooms, it was like 4 bunk beds or whatever. And I get the bottom bunk. There's like one other person. There's 2 other people sleeping in there. I finally get situated. I can't really get comfortable because all I had was like a pillow and a blanket they provided. So I had my shoes off. I'm trying to lay there, trying to just get myself to calm down. I couldn't really fall asleep. So finally, right when you know you're kind of falling asleep, the damn fire alarm goes off.
It's not funny.
No, the fire alarm goes off, and it's
Well,
like
I'm glad you've come to learn that it's been some time.
Well,
when you told me this the first time, you're like, I was in there for 15 minutes, and then the fire alarm goes off, and I wasn't able to go to sleep, so it was just another 15 minutes before y'all woke me up. It was like 3 hours.
Well, the fire alarm goes off, and it's just going off like crazy. And the girl, like, there's some lady like sleeping. She's like, I'm not leaving unless I smell smoke. She's like, I'm not moving. And it was going on. It went on forever. And then they were like, carbon monoxide detected. I'm like, well, damn, that'd be the way I'd go out right there. So I was just like, I just tried to go to sleep. And then I think I finally ended up going to sleep.
You did, because you woke up right as we got back. So we were staying an hour away.
Okay.
So I picked up Lizzie. I went back to the Airbnb, stayed there for maybe an hour. Then
less than that, yeah.
And then I took Kat. Did you come back with me too? Catherine and Bridget, and we went back. And it was an hour drive.
So get up, get my feet taken care of, which
you had blisters then.
Blisters were
that's when it kind of started.
Mm-hmm.
The blisters
the
were
worst of the worst.
The blisters were looking pretty sketch.
Yeah.
So I think we did a pretty good job cleaning them up. I was refreshed. Put the shoes back on. They were sensitive.
Also, we didn't mention, we did talk that Catherine is a doctor, but Bridget has a medical background also.
Yes.
So
I think Bridget addressed my feet.
Yes, because
there.
Catherine was still at the truck. She was getting prepared because she was fixing to go run with you.
Yeah, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
So Bridget stepped in.
Which was great.
That's great.
So, all right. So the next section, we're at the top of Mingus.
Well, okay. So then you take out as the sun's coming up.
We're taking off, which beautiful. Like we stop at this. There's a picture of me. I think I changed my Facebook profile picture.
Yep,
it's just incredible overview. I don't even think it's
not on that one.
It's not. I don't even think it's in any of them. But
it is. I saw it.
It's in the shared album that we have somewhere.
But it's like it's where people take off from hang gliders. Perfect. So we're at the top of the mountain, ready to go down. Right. Super excited, ready to roll. No. It is 5,500 feet of loss, Daniel, on the worst section. I would have rather have climbed 5,500 feet than to go down this. It was so bad.
Yeah.
And I think this is when my feet really just started taking a beating.
Yeah.
And the guy that we were started with, this guy, he was like, oh, I'm going to take off because I'm good at this. I've just pranced. I remember him saying, I like to prance down the trail. I'm like, how in the hell are you going to prance down this trail?
Yeah.
So what was it? Just rocky?
It was awful.
Like lots of big, sharp rocks loose, and then lots of down elevation. So you were just slipping and sliding.
And did I have poles?
I asked you so many times if you want your poles, and you said no.
No, because
I did not want your poles.
I didn't want them at that point because I didn't want to get clipped, or that's what happened to Cam Haynes.
Oh,
his
pole in the first section. Like in the very.
But we haven't even mentioned that climbing up to damn Lane Mountain. I was going downhill. I planted a pole, clipped, and just totally snapped one of my Lecky poles.
That's probably why you didn't want to pick up your poles again.
Well, I did switch poles, and at that point I had.
He wouldn't let us
poles.
throw them away. He made us keep the one pole.
So we do his shot one.
We have one.
That's going to be okay. Never mind. So on the descent from Mingus, we took the descent. I don't know how many miles that was.
14. Is it 14 or 17?
The whole thing was 17.
Yeah, 17. So we, it was beautiful, and you could see Sedona and you could see Jerome as we were going down. So it was kind of neat. There were some really pretty views in between all the craziness of all those rocks. And I kept making you like stop and say, look, let's look at this, because it was so pretty. And I hated that you're going to just be looking at the ground the whole time and not at the views.
And I do appreciate that. Catherine took a lot of pictures. Catherine was like, oh, look how beautiful. I'm like, man, I'm just trying not to kill myself. I'm just looking down.
Last
like,
night
look at this.
We were looking at the pictures, and he's like, Catherine, I was like, oh, look at this. Look at it. He's like, that's what Catherine kept saying. Look at this. Look at this. Ooh, what a great picture.
You were very intrigued with the plant life too.
I did. I was also like, well, you seem to be in like a low point, and I was like, look how pretty this cactus is, and you're like, look at this one. This is beautiful. I was like, okay. And at one point, I was like, you can tell me to shut up, and you're not gonna hurt my feelings.
No. We were fine. Well, it was so funny. Like on the way up, when we were going up to Mingus. Lizzie was like, "Whoa!" She was trying to pick my brain, and I was like, "Wasn't having a lot of it. Just wasn't having a lot of it." I was just like, "God, just get me up here." So finally, we leave there. We headed down 17 miles roughly. What's the next aid station?
Jerome.
Yep.
So we got to. So I will say that was my favorite spot.
But on your way there,
Well, I just want to say one thing too. So we are going, and it is awful, and you are starting to cuss, in which you were moving really well, and that's also where we first met Susie, who ended up being DFL. Remember, those trucks came past us with her pacer, and we had a great talk with her, and she's someone that kind of came up over and over again.
Susie from Minnesota.
Yes. But you kept asking me how much further, because there's got to be a road. We got to get off this. There's got to be a road. And I was looking at the map, and I was like, over here, there is a fire road. I was like, I can't tell for sure, but I think it's going to be, this many miles. And you kept saying, how many more miles? How many more miles? I was like, Matt, I'm looking at this map. I don't know. And then you slid on this one section, and you just like cussed, and you were like, how much further? I was like, oh, look, the road. It's right there. God. And then you kind of like, well, okay, good. And we got on that fire road, and that was a lot easier. And you were moving really well on that part. Like, I think once you're finally able to like stretch your legs out and move a little bit more, and we could see Jerome, and that was really cool.
That was a cool section.
That was really cool.
Very, very nice. Jerome.
But on your way to Jerome, we got from Lizzie, okay, he wants a Pepsi from McDonald's. I'm like, no, he wants a large Diet Coke from McDonald's.
That was from me, yeah.
She was like,
I talked to Lizzie on the phone. That's right.
You talked to Lizzie, and Lizzie talked to us. I was like, that's what he wants. She's like, okay, yeah. And he wants grapes. And there was something else.
I had a pocket Bobo PB&J.
Oh, yeah.
And I kept trying to offer it like my pocket potatoes to you and all this kind of stuff. And I was like, what about this Bobo PB&J? It's grape. And you're like, grapes? And I was like, no. Do you want grapes? And you're like, yeah. And I was like, he wants grapes. Because I wanted you to eat something. Yeah. And you finally like got interested in a food. And so that's when we sent in all these requests.
But Jerome does not have a grocery store.
I wanted a Coke Icy too.
Mm-hmm. You did. We didn't bring that up. You got a smoothie.
That's right. That was great.
Because we had to go past Jerome into Cottonwood to find a grocery store.
Yeah. So before we got to Jerome, we were at the like 125 mark. We were
not yet.
No, that was after
Jerome. So you stayed with me after Jerome.
I did.
Okay. So we got to Jerome. Really cool area.
It was really cool.
It was
really
hot.
cool. I remember like it was hot.
That we started that, I will say we started at Mingus, it was like 30, and it was pretty quick that you and I both had taken off at least 3 layers of clothes, because it was like 70, and I was like, every mile we're going to celebrate and we're going to take a sip of water, and you got to eat something.
And this was the beginning of kind of the red section, which is the Sedona, that whole
all
the red rock, kind of getting into that high desert. So we left Jerome, and then
at Jerome,
I had tacos.
So we had to go into the grocery store. So we got there just as y'all were there. And we parked the car and set up, and you just want to sit in the car. And so it was cool that you and I got to have some time together to sit in the car and just talk and in the air conditioning.
Yeah.
And you were talking, and you were like, that sucked. You were like, it all sucks. And I was like, well, then why are you doing this? And you're like, because it's so fun. And I was like, okay. But it was great that we got to have that time together.
Yeah.
Just to sit and talk and chill.
Yeah. Well,
I felt bad after the fact that you didn't get to sit in the air conditioning.
it was
but
fine.
you could have joined us.
It was fine.
All we talked about was how bad it sucked and how fun it was.
I got you a bag of grapes and some Ruffles, and we got
Didn't
ice
you give me
banded.
that was the other
You got me
thing.
pineapples
He also wanted something salty.
Mm-hmm.
So we got that, and then we saw the pineapple. There
The
was
pineapple was
something.
later.
That's where the ferret came in.
This is after Jerome, and
Matt is texting, and he was like, "We need to talk about the ferret."
that morning you had said, I need to. When we were
Address the
going to
ferret?
Venus, I need to take care of the ferret, and we were like,
oh, my feet.
"What were we talking about?" It was like an
Ferret.
autocorrect thing, and so then later when you started doing the request for stuff, Brooke was like, "Anything else?" I was like, "A pet ferret."
Pet ferret.
Which
We were doing whatever
I guess
we
you had
could
to be there
babe.
for that, but anyway, it was
It
really
was a
funny.
long week for us.
It was
Matt.
a lot.
We had a lot
We're
of
gonna
weight labs.
we're gonna talk about that.
Okay.
But okay, so quickly we went from Jerome to what was the next?
So that section was pretty hard. I don't know if you remember that. That was like we were sliding. That was really steep once we got out of Jerome and on those like dirt trails.
Oh, I do remember that.
It was really steep. That's where we talked to Dan from LA and his pacer.
Dan the
we were
man.
with them for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Who and he was kind of a neat guy because he was retired and I can't remember how old he was, but he was up there.
He was an astro engineer, 66. He had done Cocodona 3 times. He's done Badwater like 5 times.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
They were pretty neat. But we were sliding and I kept asking if you wanted your poles and you still didn't want poles, but we were slipping and sliding down there. And that's when we got to mile 125, which was halfway, which we took a picture.
Sent the picture.
Yes.
We posted the picture.
So I ran into a friend of mine who I went to high school with, Camille Terry.
Right after
and she had been following, and we were out in the middle of some neighborhood, Clarksdale. That's right. And she was like, "Matt, go, Matt." And I'm like, "Damn, that lady's got good eyes," because she could see my name on my. She was like, "We grew up together," and I'm like, "Oh, damn." So Camille Terry, who was following, she came up and gave me a hug,
which was really cool.
Which
y'all
was
got a picture,
super
and there's a
cool.
picture.
Super cool.
There she is,
right there. Yep. And got a picture with her, and then
I don't see the halfway point.
Half-ish.
Halfway-ish.
That was halfway-ish. That was about my 122, but there was a picture.
There was a picture.
Halfway.
I didn't see it.
So the next stop, where did we go to from there next, Bridget?
Yeah, that was Dead Horse.
And then we made Dead Horse.
Okay.
That was cool. Once we kind of got on some of those trails, it was like through some neighborhoods.
Yes.
And that's when I kept pointing out the cactus. And then we had that creek crossing. I don't remember, you remember that?
Yes.
And that was, I don't know if y'all heard this story, but we got over there and I started to kind of wade through and we saw Dan from LA on the other side. And they were telling us it's not that deep. And so I got about halfway through and that was a river. That was a current.
It was moving.
So I walked back and you were a little bit like wobbly and I said, "Don't make it weird, but grab my hand." I was like, because if you fall down, I'm not going to be able to get you up because this water is moving. And so we like walked across and somebody videoed us. I think Dan did
Yeah, there's
too.
a picture.
Is there of us crossing?
Well, I took a picture I think I took a video of you kind of going
across.
halfway. So we got through that. And then at that point.
So that was at the Dead Horse State Park. I came. So it was me, Catherine, and Lizzie because Bridget was sleeping because she was about to be up. So.
Yes. So then at that point, we finally get to Dead Horse. Is that where Lizzie hopped in?
Yep. So we took
So
care
you
of the
were
feet
done.
again. Yeah, we took care of your feet. You took a little bit of a nap. And I will say, like, through all that, you had talked to a few people. Like, you talked to Helen, you talked to Josh, you talked to Ben McDonald, and everybody was celebrating how great you had done. And we took care of your feet. You laid down and got your icy that Brooke went and found.
It was not Coke. It was Mountain Dew.
Yes.
Because ices are not the thing in Arizona, obviously.
But I think that was good because it had been hot. We got real hot in that section. And then you were going to push and get to Sedona and take another good nap in Sedona.
I don't think you tried. You were supposed to sleep for 30 minutes.
There was talk of me sleeping where?
It was at Dead Horse.
At Dead Horse.
And you had your phone. And you're like, I can't sleep. I'm like, because you're on your phone. So I took your phone away. And then you had another 15 minutes that you did sleep.
So there was 2 sections after that. Dead Horse to
Deer Pass.
And then Deer Pass to
a water stop.
A water stop.
And then water stop to Sedona.
And at the water stop is where you picked up Lizzie, and then you were alone for
but
about
you were
5
with
miles.
Susie again. So
correct.
So you fell, and that y'all were moving at the same pace, and that was a good easy section.
Yes.
I think the Deer Pass to that water stop was hard. Lizzie said that was harder than, I don't know if Lizzie's still there, but she had told me that section was harder than Mingus, she thought. So she was glad she was with you through that.
So at this point, I think we had already accumulated 25,000 feet of climb.
At least.
Through 100 and roughly 40 miles is where we were, roughly.
So you were, I'm trying to figure out what mile was he at then?
Which Deer Pass?
At the water stop right after Deer Pass.
153.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's about right.
And so I brought you a Coke and the pineapple that Brooke had found for you,
That's
and
right.
you ate that, which was good.
Yeah.
And then you went off with Susie and them, and you moved fast through there. Like you made.
We were
good
moving
time.
fast. They were moving really slow.
Oh, okay.
Like Susie was moving slow. So once we kind of got once we got into Sedona, we were I left them.
Mm-hmm. You were moving fast.
Yeah, I left them because it was like I got to get going. But it seemed once we got into the streets of Sedona, the sun started coming up, and I'm like, okay, I'm there. And then I remember calling Brooke. I'm like, where are y'all at? And they were like, Brooke said, you're still 2.5 miles away. I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, I'm in Sedona. No, I wasn't. You have to go through downtown.
Walking, through the streets.
And
of
then
Sedona.
you got to go way up this damn hill. And I'm like, oh God, so that took forever. So finally.
And during this point, Catherine and Lizzie had to leave us.
Correct. Because y'all had flights.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and so Lizzie got a good shower and a little bit of a nap because she had to go to work that night.
That's correct.
And then we drove into Phoenix that dropped her off at the airport. And so we were out.
So we kind of crossed paths.
Mm-hmm.
And then
which worked good.
Mm-hmm.
So I made it all the way. So finally I got into Sedona. And I'm trying to picture it. So we got to Sedona.
We passed you on the road walking in to the aid station.
Oh yeah, that's
driving.
right. That's right.
I thought you were going to. You were not happy that we were driving past you.
Got there. What did I sleep?
So that is, if anybody's following the social media aspect of it, that's where the video is taken of you snoring. We let you sleep for an hour-ish, 45 minutes to an hour.
About an hour.
And I assisted. Bridget dealt with your feet.
So what day was this? This was Thursday
morning. Around 8-ish, I think.
That sounds right. Yeah.
So Thursday morning, took my shoes off. What did my feet look like then?
Horrible.
That was bad.
Yeah,
I've looked at your
pictures of this.
Yeah, they exist.
They look terrible.
I've seen your feet more than.
You should pull a Dave Parks and show everybody your feet.
No,
now.
we're not.
No,
We're good.
Show us an update.
Well, I will say this. So Liza, my coach, who doesn't, it's her job. She's not going to comment too much about other runners, right? But she did tell Rick, and Rick told me low-key on the side that it was the worst she'd ever seen. And this is a professional running coach that has a background in foot care.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
She said it was the worst she'd ever seen. So we got them patched up, moleskin, lubed up. They were swollen, so we had a hard time putting socks back on.
Oh, yeah.
Got them on, Tylenol'd up. You want to get something else to drink? Go ahead. Got some Tylenol, which was kind of a game changer. That helped. So then at that point, we're ready to go, which is the next section, which is Sedona.
Do you want to talk about sending you off?
Do you want to read that?
I don't have it ready. I don't have glasses on.
Go
ahead.
Go ahead and read it.
Do you think he would care if I read it?
No, why don't you read it? So we're getting ready to leave. Okay, so I'm getting all these messages from people like, go, Matt, go. I'm not checking my phone very often, except like when I'm laying down in the car. Briefly, I'll like just kind of check like Facebook or text messages. And I was probably getting 15 to 20 texts between each aid station. So, but Major had tried to call me my son.
So I sent Matt and Bridget on, and they were going. And I don't run. I went running after them. And I said, hold on, because I checked my phone as soon as I sent them on the way. And I had this text from Major, and it said, the next time you see Dad, tell him I believe in him, and I believe that he can keep going. I tried to call him last night, but it went to voicemail.
No.
So I called Matt back and read that to him. And so,
yeah, I'd kind of lost it a little bit whenever he had sent that. 'Cause, I mean, it's a 15-year-old.
Yeah.
You know, he doesn't.
15-year-old boy.
You know,
Yeah.
I mean, we don't. You know, a lot of our. I mean, we're not as close as we probably could be. You know, so for him to take time out of his, you know, to do that, and I know he was following it, so that was pretty emotional. So that sent Bridget and I on our way on the supposed best part of the course, most look forward to. I was really excited to hit this during the day, which is Sedona, which is probably one of the most beautiful sections in the country.
Yeah, it was.
Would we
beautiful.
say
When
that
you
this
looked up.
Was gorgeous.
So we take off for Sedona, which the first section, which Sedona Posse was what, 12 miles roughly?
Sedona Posse to the water station.
Yes.
11.3 supposedly.
Okay, what's the gain on that?
3,000.
3,000 feet. Okay. Not terrible, not super rocky, supposedly, but we were lied to. So we take off.
Well, when you left, it was like 9 or 10 a.m.
Yeah, it was hot already.
Okay, it was
and
getting
that's
hot.
where I made a mistake. I should have.
How much water did you take with you?
I took 2 bottles of water.
Oof.
But I didn't tell you. I ran out of water.
Like 2 water. I took I had a bladder.
Yeah.
Which was roughly 2
full.
liters, and I had 2 800-milliliter flasks.
You ran out of water when we were together.
On the way out of town, Bridget's like, "Oh, there's a coffee shop. You want me to go get you a water?" I'm like, "Yes, go and get water." So she ran in to some bougie coffee shop. They give her a Fuji water.
They gave me a special Fiji water.
And they didn't. They
for free.
They refused to take her money.
We went back and spent plenty of money later.
So I drank it. So we take off for Sedona. We kind of matriculate our way through the woods, and then we get to the climb, which is what they call the Hangover Trail.
Yeah.
Which is essentially just straight up a rock.
Mm-hmm.
And you're following the white blazes the way.
And I did get a bunch of people lost at one point.
You did get lost.
I may not be the best person for this job because I'm kind of disorganized and
you did go the wrong way once, but that
before.
wasn't a game. That didn't break us.
It wasn't terrible. We lost about a minute. Probably.
So we're essentially climbing straight up this Hangover Trail, and there's drones flying around, like videoing us. Well, we get to the bottom. We get to
where is this at? Mile what?
Let me check. Oh.
It had to be around mile 160.
It's like at 160-ish.
Around
mile 160. So when we're walking up, the live stream's there. And they're doing the live stream.
This might have been the section that Helen told you about. Remember when you talked to her?
Oh, yeah.
She said there's this section. There's all these drones.
People are going the wrong way.
Lost.
Yeah.
Everybody's
just go down.
Yes. Yeah. So we pull up, and there's a guy there, and he's like, "Hey, would you like to be on the live stream?" And he was talking to Bridget at first. Bridget's like, "I'm just pacing." So she steps off the side, and then I'm talking to the guy, and I'm just telling him about the text that Major sent me, and I'm getting emotional there too. And I'm just like, I just said, "This is the most incredible thing. I'm just so honored to be out here." So then he's like, "Well, we're rooting for you, Matt. We'll be following you." So then we start the climb, and there's cameramen up there taking our photos, which are supposed to come out like next week, which is just going to be the most killer photos. Because, I mean, you look like you're looking off a cliff. So finally, we kind of make our way up to the top of the Hangover Trail, and we're like, "Whoa, we're there." No, you're not.
No, we're not.
You're not there.
Because the live stream guy was like, "Hey, water's just up the hill." And it was like 3 or 4 hours later.
Wow.
Is this point too that Bridget said you were doing it scooting on your butt?
Yeah, that was before that. Yeah.
There was
Matt was not, but you were scooting on your butt.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're like, okay, I could literally go right off this mountain.
Oh gosh.
And we're in the day. So there's sections where you're like going across, and there's just huge, literally, I would say 1,000 feet.
Yeah.
1,000 foot drop, like where you could roll down this hill.
Oh gosh.
1,000 feet. And so, yeah, it was just, and also too, keep in mind, my feet are just so hot. So you're on an angle, your feet are just like
sliding,
like constant. And it's like, so my feet are getting hot. I'm drinking water like like a madman. We're stopping people on the trail. There was one guy.
We have to hear Bridget's
Matt's
version.
stopping everybody.
Oh, I don't have any shame. I don't give a shit.
Pink Jeep tour. He runs up to him and is like, "Hey, y'all got any water?
Oh, there was a pink Jeep tour. Like once we finally got to the road, there was some dude.
Has anybody got any water?
I'm like, hey, you guys got some water? And he looked at me. He's like, yeah, I got some. So he like popped open this thing and I filled up a bottle of water.
But even better.
Everybody.
Matt, you should not be proud of what you made Bridget do.
Yeah. So we were climbing up we were on a road at that point.
We were on
the dirt road forever. And there's a guy alone in a camper off to the side in the woods. And
like
Matt
down
was
a hill?
Down a hill. And Matt was like, hey, you got any water?
Well, no, he said, hey, is there anything y'all need anything? I'm like, you got some. Did. He's like, you guys need anything? And I was like, yeah, you got any water? He's like, yeah, I got some, but you have to come get it. I'm like, Bridget, can you please go down there and get it?
And then you left her.
They left. So
you left her with the strange guy smoking pot in the woods.
Some hippie on their side of the road smoking weed.
Thank God we got Bridget back. We might have never seen her again.
I made it back and I caught up to him and he was like, I said, here, Matt. He's like, what's this? Like, the water.
So we make it through Sedona Posse. Then at that point, we finally make it up to the water stop, which is on a long fire road that just seemed like it just went on forever. And I'm like, Jesus, please just get me to this damn water stop.
Gosh.
And it was just like, and I know I'm just, at this point, sleep, my feet, I'm sweating, but I don't feel like I'm sweating. At this point, I had probably drank 3 gallons of water.
Wow.
You know, and I don't know.
You drank a lot more than Bridget.
And I don't know if that's healthy or not. I'm starting to question, like, shit, do I need salt or do I not need salt?
We were taking salt.
We were.
Yeah.
But I'm like, and I was eating, but she's like just shoveling paydays in my face. She's like, just eat this, eat this, eat this. So I'm eating and the nerd gummy clusters.
That was from me.
Game changer.
That she was like, do you want these? And I would like toss you a few every now and then.
Daniel, do you like nerd gummy clusters? No. Oh my God, bro. Let me tell you what.
That was the only thing you would eat.
That will hit really special. Also, so sleep deprivation starting to factor in.
But we have the best story.
I know we're going to get to that sleep deprivation. I'm concerned about my hydration. Also at this point, everything's starting to taste the same. Like everything. Like I think I had mentioned to you, I'm like, this tailwind just is awful. And I remember when you
wanted Gatorade.
I think that was one thing I had to buy too.
Sedona, I was like, can I just please have orange and green Gatorade? Just old school.
Orange and yellow.
Orange and yellow. Just old school.
That was the Dead Horse. That was
just
that.
Old school Gatorade. Please just give me this tailwind's they're not mixing it right. Well, I got the Gatorade. It tastes the exact same. And I think what it is this palate fatigue had set in. And all my mouth was just like dry. I felt like I had a coating. Felt like I had canker sores all in my mouth.
Lizzie
and to
was
be honest,
that,
I'm still dealing with that. I'm still kind of dealing with that a little bit. So I think, and I talked to Jackson Wolf yesterday and he agreed. He's like, yeah, that's palate fatigue. That's set in. And also all the red dust and dirt. We're not even going to talk about all the boogers that I have. We're just, was I telling you about the boogers?
Did you bring the picture?
And your, I don't know what a rating is, your bowel movements too. You
tell
me all about that.
I missed that one. Great.
No, bowel movements were good.
No, I'm good. I'm good.
Bowel movements were good. They were solid. Nothing wrong there.
Matt.
And I was peeing a lot too. So I felt like I was good, but it was just dry palate fatigue. So, okay. So Bridget and I, we're getting to the end of the journey here. So we finally get to the damn water stop. And then at the water stop, and then we got to go from the water stop to Schnebly.
You took a nap at the water stop.
I did.
Yes. You would lay down just flat on the ground and took
because I was so hot.
10-minute nap.
I was so hot.
Yeah.
I took another dirt nap. I do remember that off to the side because the water stop was just big buckets of water.
It was a big tank.
Big
but
tank
it was
of water.
Cold.
It was cold. I remember I took my hat off, did that, and I was just so, I think heat exhaust. I was starting to question, like, I think I told you, I'm like, I don't know if I'm getting like a heat stroke or heat fatigue.
You thought you were dying. Like, honestly, you did.
It
the whole rest of the way, you thought it was pretty funny.
I was starting to quit.
Sorry.
You were looking for excuses at this point.
I was getting them for sure. So, all right. So then at that point, we go from water stop
to Schnebly.
How long was that?
That was 5.5 miles.
Which
seems like
could
it
have been 30 miles.
And it was a road the whole way.
It was a road.
Yeah.
And at that point, that's when the bitch really came out in me.
Yeah, you were falling apart.
Oh my God.
Oh, I felt
so
bad.
what? Go ahead, tell the story.
It's Bridget's story to tell, please.
No, I know.
No,
I have
you
so
tell
much
it.
pressure now.
I know.
No, but you were falling apart, and I texted some people, and I was like, Matt, I don't know, he's struggling. He could use a pep talk.
This is when all the calls started,
and then all the reinforcements came.
I think I got one from Daniel
so
too.
sweet.
Daniel sent me a text, which was fantastic.
I mean, that was awesome. Your community is amazing.
I started getting phone calls. I mean,
that was Josh. Josh called in.
Yes,
on that.
I texted Josh,
and at this time, I was questioning. Was I doing? For people that don't know, I'm the hard ass.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, you don't quit. You keep going. I'm don't be a pussy. Keep going. Sorry, that's just my role. That's what I do. And so I call Josh because Josh is my calming, gonna talk sense into me. He doesn't answer his phone, so I call Bob. Bob goes, well, he's not going to die as long as he's doing this, this, and this. I'm like, Bob, I was never concerned he was going to die. Bob says, well, he's not going to die if this, this, and this. I'm like, Bob, I've never thought he was going to die. But he could die if this, this, and this. And I'm like, shouldn't have called Bob.
Never have called him.
Should have never called Bob. But Bob said, no, keep going. Don't let up. Be a hard ass. He's not quitting.
So I think we were on the road, and how'd the story go? I told Bridget, I'm like, just go up a little ahead of me and I'm going to catch up.
Yeah. And he had already been talking about, I think my blood pressure's too low. I think I'm getting dehydrated. I think I've got hyperthermic and all the things. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to go ahead. And then I didn't hear his polls after a few minutes.
Pull his picture up, Daniel. There's a picture of me.
No, you got to hear her story first.
I didn't hear the polls.
Go ahead, pull the picture up.
And I was like, Matt.
It's not that one.
No, it's not that one.
It's
We're
not
on
there.
the Jeep
Did
road.
you not send it?
I did. It should be on there,
somewhere.
maybe.
No.
So I'm walking, and I didn't hear his polls, and I turn around, and Matt's yards behind me, like what, 30 yards maybe? And he's just laying out in the middle of the road. And I was like, oh, crap. Like, did he DFO in the road? And he's having a seat. Like, I don't know what's happening. So I ran up to him, like, Matt. And I was pushing him and kicking on him a little bit. He's like, I just need to take a nap. And he rolls over on his side and just passed out. Just passed out. Trucks going by, whatever.
So then at that point, everybody's starting to call.
Mm-hmm.
We're just a couple miles away from Schnebly, which Schnebly was mile 176, I think.
Right.
I'm getting text messages from, this is what's so wild. It's like, I'm getting text messages from like people like that are like not in my league at all. Like really, like not just friends, but like people, Bethany Madison is texting me, saying, you've got it. You just got to keep pushing.
Mm-hmm.
Jackson Wolf, who knows the course, says, Matt, you've passed all the hard sections. You're about to hit the easy section. You just got to keep going. And then John Brower calls me.
Oh, wow.
John calls me and he's like, what's the situation? And I just told him, I'm like, this is bro, and he's like, well, what do you got left? This is what you got left. And so, I mean, it just meant the world to me. I mean, Ben Ulmer's calling me. Josh calls me. I'm getting, my kids start calling me. And then, so finally we get to Schnebly. And the idea is when we get to Schnebly, I talked to Bridget. I said,
you lose a pacer there.
I said, we need to get some medical attention because I don't know. I said, let's just let somebody else take a look at it. And Bridget and I both agreed we're okay. Let's just let a doctor take a look at you.
Bridget agreed to you.
Yes.
Into your face.
Sure.
But behind your back, she's calling me. She's like.
So what we decided to do was that let's just go get my feet taken, looked at. Let me lay down. So I laid down. How long did I sleep?
Well,
y'all let me sleep for.
You and I sat in the truck and talked. You ate chili.
Which was good.
And you slept for about 45 minutes.
So at this point, I'm ahead of the cutoff by, I think the cutoff there was going to be 10.
You had time.
So I was about 3 hours ahead of the cutoff. So the plan was just get you out on the road. I had to do.
So it was night.
Yes, it was starting to become.
It was starting to become night. You could not have a pacer with you, and it was 13.9 miles
until Munns Park.
Until you could pick up a pacer.
Munns Park. So, got laid down, got night clothes on.
You didn't really lay down. We just sat in the truck and you fell asleep.
I was in the back, wasn't I?
No, you were sitting in the front seat, and like we weren't even trying to be quiet. We were slamming the doors, talking. I was playing on my phone. My phone blared stuff on the car radio. You did not wake up. I was asleep
for about 45 minutes. Shoes, I think, were fine. I don't remember if we changed socks or anything.
I don't think so.
Did we not?
Did we? Okay. I don't think we did.
So then at that point, it was like, you got to go. So
yeah, we were close. Like, you had to get out of there.
Yeah.
So you took off down the road. Can I throw in?
Yeah.
You're down the road, and you want Tylenol.
Oh,
Bridget,
I forgot to take
who
Tylenol.
just did 17 miles in the blaring sun, respectively, would not go run the Tylenol tea, so actually ran. I ran.
Brooke is a good runner.
I ran all the way to you. It was a good, 400 yards. 400 meters. Thank you, CrossFit. I ran all the way there. You told me I didn't run.
So after that,
you were on your own.
We
had a plan though when you took off.
Stay under 26-minute miles.
Mm-hmm. That
the first mile,
and we were going to stay on the phone with you, someone different every 30 minutes.
Yeah, that got old real quick.
Because you hung up on people.
I didn't. Well, no, I didn't.
You hung up on people.
So, okay, the first mile, we're gonna wrap this up pretty soon. But the first mile was 22-minute mile. I think I made 22-minute mile. The next mile was a 30-minute mile, and then right after that, I fell. I tripped, hit my knee again.
Oh, you didn't mention that you fell.
Yes,
earlier in Sedona.
I did fall in Sedona. My knee swelled up really bad. So once I got about 3 miles down the road, the light switch just, at that point, I'm calling Brooke. I'm like, please come get me. She said, no. Then maybe 15, 30 minutes later, I lay down. People are starting to pass me. About 30 minutes later, after laying there, one lady, Susie, passed me from Minnesota. Mm-hmm. She said, Matt, I'm thinking about quitting too. And I said, are you physically okay? She said, yeah, I'm okay. I said, well, then you just need to go. I said, I can't move. Mm-hmm. And so she left. Come to find out, Daniel, Susie is what they call the DFL. She was dead fucking last. She was the last person to finish. She was the last one. She finished with 15 minutes left to go in the golden hour.
And what's really cool is
you saw Wayne.
They celebrate.
Yeah. You saw Wayne.
Well, you saw Wayne.
Yeah.
Yeah, you saw Wayne.
Yeah.
They ended up giving him a finish, which is bullshit, but whatever.
I think I read that like his actual start, and he actually did make it. Like when they actually looked at his chip time.
That's bullshit.
Oh, good.
Whatever.
I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. I'm sure I can come up with some mileage.
Hey, Matt, Wayne didn't quit.
Wayne didn't quit.
Wow.
And with that,
so,
we'll see you next week.
But they celebrate the last person as much as they do the first person. So I thought it was really cool.
Susie was the last one.
And she got a big celebration.
I feel like I had something to do with that. But so at that point, it was over. I knew it was going to be tough. I knew it was going to be second guessing it. But I'm telling you guys, unless you've been out there, you just don't understand. I mean, it's that, I think the sleep, the pain. Now, today was the first day I was able to wear shoes. I had to use a wheelchair to get home from the hospital. We did go to urgent care.
We went to urgent care.
Got put on antibiotics.
Oh, wow.
I have severe blisters, every orifice of my feet, toes, everywhere. I don't understand how this keeps happening. This is something that's got to be evaluated.
But we're not doing this again, so it doesn't matter.
We're not. Okay. So look, I'm not, and I said from the get-go, I'm not going to make excuses because it's not fair to the people who have completed it. It's not fair to the people putting the race on. It is what it is. Am I proud of what happened? I kind of am, because of what the community, for what you guys did, where it really got special was we got home to the Airbnb that night. It was an absolute shit show trying to get cleaned up, put in bed. God bless Brooke. I owe Brooke so much. We get to the Airbnb. I lay down, go to sleep about midnight, wake up at 5 o'clock, and I'm just checking my phone. And the amount of people reaching out was just, Brooke wakes up because I'm crying.
Oh.
And I think I cried probably for 2 days. Not because I was sad that I didn't make it, but I think it was just not feeling worthy of it. I mean, I had people, just people that I haven't seen in 30 years saying our whole office was following it all week.
And from different aspects of your life.
People of different aspects of my life just reaching out. And it's like, you know, this world can be so shitty. And, you know, and people post such narcissistic things all the time, and they're bitching about Trump or they're bitching about this or that. And I think, you know, it was a breath of fresh air for a lot of people that they could see something that they could actually root for.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest, it was the most spiritual experience that I've had in a long time. And it was, it just made it so, I mean, I just was so honored and just proud. And then also the fact that people were willing to come together to kind of to do that. And that's what's pretty cool. I had a conversation with Helen the other day, and she said, well, you know, Matt, you know, that's people, you know, people see that and people want to do stuff like that. And I saw it, you know, Jackson Wolf, you know, last year doing it. And it's like, I want to touch the sun like that. I want to get uncomfortable and to push myself to that level and just to do something, you know, that I know is going to be hard. Like, live life in a different way and to push themselves. And it's inspiring to a lot of people. And, you know, it was really special that I was able to share it with you guys. And I mean, I couldn't have been more grateful and honored to have been a part of that. And for other people to have seen that, I mean, or just, you know, be involved.
We're really proud of you.
We are very proud of you.
Yeah.
We are very proud of you.
You were doing so good. I kept telling people, I was like, he is moving so good. He's doing so great. You really were.
I didn't think about, I really wasn't thinking about like what kind of meat I left on the bone. You know, I wasn't really thinking about that. I was just thinking about just, you know, I gave it everything I could. I mean, no, but now that days have gone by, I'm like, kind of like, shit, man, I was on the easiest section. You start thinking about like what you could have done. But dude, there was no way that I could have gone any further at that time. It just was not happening.
It was a tough call.
Because I've had tough DNFs.
Do we want to talk about that tough call? Who'd you call when you decided to quit?
Oh, yeah, I wasn't calling Brooke.
You would not call Brooke.
Well, no.
He called Bridget to tell Bridget.
We called Brooke first.
I did call you. Well, also, too, I lost cell service. I did lose cell service. Brooke didn't believe me. She was like,
I believe you now.
I did lose cell service out there in the middle of nowhere, but what was the text? I'm like, I'm freezing. I could die out here.
Oh
He did send a text. He's like, I'm going to freeze to death out here. I said, Bridget, how cold is it there? She pulled it up. She said, it's 50. I said, okay, let's give him the benefit of doubt. What's the wind chill? She goes, I feel like it's 49.
So
you were really trying.
You were trying.
But he called Brooke and she's like, I'm not picking you up. And he's like, I'll call Bridget. She'll pick me up.
I didn't want to put you in that position, but it was.
Bridget's like, I wasn't about to go.
So finally, I didn't have cell service, but somebody passing me did. They called the race, whatever, the race command. and they sent a van out. Some dude just, and they were sending vans out left and right to pick up people. Yeah. So, but it is what it is. Made it 180. It's the furthest ever been.
It's unbelievable.
amazing.
It was a trip of a lifetime. Anybody wanting to do that race, yeah. I mean,
Have fun.
there are some people.
We're all out.
Well, I
Sorry.
will say this: there are people locally that are in the lottery.
Yeah. Yep.
But there's also a lot of other epic things. I mean, Bridget, you've got Copper Kings coming up next month.
Yep.
That's an epic 100-mile race in
Bridget sent
Montana.
a text today about
Tahoe is back to the full loop next year.
We'll talk about
or
that
this
later.
Summer, so.
Yes.
What do you have coming up?
Catherine's got Pinhoti.
Yeah.
Yay.
That's, I mean, but these are all really cool things. And it's just the fact that we're able to. I listened to Cam Haynes's podcast today, and he DNF'd at right after Crown King. He made it only about 40 miles.
Oh,
and he was in tears.
Yeah.
And he was a lot like me. He's like, you know, he's itching up on 60 years old. And he's like, you know, he was just honored to be out there. And, but it's a tough race. And I'm honored that I was able to get in it and to give it my all, train for it. I think at this point right now, we're just hitting the reset button. I need to drop probably about 20 or 30 pounds. That's the idea. Get faster and, focus more on road running, and we'll see what happens. I mean, what do I do moving forward? I don't know. I mean,
just keep moving.
You know,
have fun and just keep moving.
This race here, yeah, it's a tough one.
It was tough. Yeah.
Lizzie's not going to do it. I don't see. Are you going to get in it? You want to get in that lottery?
A good preview, and
Well,
I think I'm okay right now.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind. I would love to hear. Gerhardt did the
125. That's right.
It's like a half a Cocodona.
Greg Gerhardt. Well, he said that was the hardest race he had ever done.
Oh wow!
And he said the section running through the hangover was risky.
And for those who don't know, he just turned 70.
He just turned 70. So
the day the race started.
All right, guys. Well, we've been here now an hour and a half. So this has been a long episode. Daniel's been working his ass off all day. So I don't. Do you guys have anything in closing that y'all want to mention or anything?
I was like, just keep having adventures, have fun, and just keep moving.
We do have a song of the week every week. I wanted to do something since it's all females.
Oh dear. God.
Brooks is Swiftie. I'm a Swiftie. Lizzie's a Swiftie. So I looked up like what were songs that were inspirational and motivating for Taylor Swift. What do you think came up, bro?
I don't know.
What song do you think would be that?
I had the
song of the week's Long Live.
Long Live.
Which is Brooke and mine's song.
Oh.
It's a Taylor Swift song.
So we have the tattoos, the matching Taylor Swift tattoos.
Daniel.
That say it says I had the time of my life fighting dragons with you.
Oh.
So that song of the week, I guess it pertains to kind of what we just went through. So Daniel's over there shaking his head.
Do you have one too?
No, Daniel doesn't like Taylor Swift. All right, well, that was the breakdown of Cocodona. That was that shit show, but it was so much fun. Will I do it again?
No. No.
We'll talk to y'all.
No.
We'll talk to everybody in the next couple of weeks. We'll have I don't know what the next episode's going to hold, but we'll be back in the next couple of weeks. But again, thanks everybody for following along. It was a journey. Thanks to the crew. It was truly just the community. It was so heartwarming, and man, how inspirational is all of this. And if you're thinking about doing something that kind of scares you, do it. So we'll talk to you guys again.